The ultimate goal for these principles, going through all the hardships in the beginning, learning them, making them a part of your character, is that so when we both, when you and the individual you love, both of you understand exactly where you're going, why you're going there, what is the outcome that you both are desiring. Then you incorporate in gender roles, which then divides the tasks specific to the gender in which they are much better at, right? We're not asking men to do things that women can do better, and we're not asking women to do things that just a man can do better. Because at the end of the day, we want our family to be in a position, at the best position possible. And the best way to do that is to go into the things in which you excel in more than the other individual. The point is interdependency with one another. That means the things in which I am weak at, my wife is going to cover that for me, and vice versa. And then what that creates is ultimately what you want. It's where your relationship will go from being two blind individuals leading each other to the end of the relationship, full of surprises, ups and downs, um, restless, lack of peace, um, you know, not even strong enough to really to really bring joy outside of the few activities that you do together. And it becomes something more akin to a synergy. Imagine like a flow state where everything is just working so well together because both people have taken the time and put in the effort to really do their jobs well. And because those jobs they go together and you're all moving in the same direction, and you know exactly what that end looks like for both of you, and both of you have taken the position which you're best fitted for, you perform extremely well. Like a lot of times I hear there's a lot of complaints about people getting out of relationships, and they talk about how toxic it used to be. You have to understand, whether a relationship was good or bad, a relationship is a reflection of who you are inside. That is you, right? You hear somebody, like a lot of times you hear people say, well, the other individual is extremely toxic, but I did everything right, but the other person was toxic. Toxicity does not thrive without toxicity. Toxicity thrives on toxicity, right? It can't just be coming one way and it thrives. If truly from your inner self, whatever the thoughts and principles, if you're a principled individual who have taken time to truly look at their internal self and to work on their thoughts and your mindset and your attitude, and and you develop yourself to be an incredible individual, even if a toxic person comes into your life, that ability, that congruency between what's inside and the way you present yourself when it's congruent, it is going to change the other person. Toxicity does not have power over true positive change, right? As cliche as he says, as he's saying is, it's like a person who is a force for good. And I'm not using that in the terms in which most people tend to use that. I'm literally talking about a person that has taken time to not only solidify their beliefs and what's important in long term, have taken time to read literature and to understand how the human mind works, and how to be influential in a positive way to other people, really worked on themselves. And I hate that, because that is something that is used very often in a very cliche way, but I'm finding out that is actually a real thing when applied correctly, of course, right? Again, I recommend you read um, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. That individual does not get affected by external factors. They are the one that is affecting everybody else, right? They are the one that I think all of us have come across someone, for example, who is like extremely positive and bubbly, like genuinely. And when you're around them, you just feel good, right? You don't know what it is about them, but you just feel good to be around them. They make you feel more positive. That is an individual that has some sort of principle that has made it a center of their world, their inner self. And then it has become so rich, and so concrete in their thought process. It has become now their character, and that radiates to everybody, right? To those who they come in contact with. And essentially, the principles, especially that the ones we're talking about, even though we concentrate within the context of the relationship, that is essentially what you're trying to create. Because this is not something that you just do for the sake of the other individual, just to make them happy. That's also another really big mistake. It's like there's this idea of doing something out of love, right? Just for the sake of making the other individual happy. And as much as you would like to believe that you're doing a good thing, that is actually a form of manipulation. And it doesn't work long term, right? What works long term is two individuals who are willing to give themselves to the other individual, care about what's important to the other individual, truly want to understand the other individual and where they're coming from, analyze all the things that they can do to express their love, because their love is a verb, right? Love is not just something that they feel. Create a set of principles in which they both follow, some sort of a guide and an understanding, rules that must not be broken. Divide the important aspects of their relationship amongst them to know exactly this is what you do, why you do it, this is what I do, why I do it. Minimizing as much as you can disagreements and misalignments, misinterpretations, which will lead then to a relationship that has an extremely high levels of an emotional bank account, right? It's going to be full, which is going to make, even when you make errors, which humans we do, the severity of those errors that you make, the mistakes probably you make, the things probably you do not even purposely to hurt the other individuals, the severity of it is going to be drastically reduced, for the simple fact that the other individual isn't on the defensive. Through evidence, through your work, through the congruency from within you that has become actually your character, you've created this safe place for that individual, and trust, which again, that word trust, I don't like to use it because it is misused for a lot of different things. It is, a lot of times it is used as a way to manipulate people, as a way to sort of like point at someone and and saying you know, like use it as a way to pass on blame to another individual, or to give excuse for why you're acting a certain way, or to try to gaslight someone, who is sensitive to certain actions that you take, but you want to use the idea of trust as a way of saying, hey, you need to trust me. I need to do this something you're extremely uncomfortable with, but you need to trust me that I'm not going to do the thing that you think I'm going to do. So I don't like to use that word necessarily, but it still applies within its true definition, right? Trust is not something that is just given. This is something that I've talked about in my videos before. It is something that must be earned through evidence, through hard work. And when it's truly earned, it becomes actually real. It moves from being a talking point into something that is actually exists. It has a life of its own in your own relationship. And by the way, you'll be very surprised. And this is why I think truly, like, relationship is almost like a living thing. Your relationship will surprise you. Of the goodness it can offer you. Because I think a lot of times, like, we micromanage our relationship. We micromanage other people that we're in close proximity to, right? Don't talk to me like that. Don't say that to me. Don't do that. That is like micromanaging. But imagine being in a position in which your relationship provides such positive, I don't want to use the word energy, but such positive just provides positivity into your life that is almost like surprising to you in surprising ways, that you didn't calculate, you didn't force someone to do it for you. You didn't say, hey, you need to do this X, Y, and Z. I like this. Here's my love language on Valentine's Day. Study. That is what you're looking for. That is the beauty of life. That is the adventure of being with someone else. To create an environment where the other individual gets to grow in such a healthy way that they blossom and they blossom in a surprising way that is strange to you. It's not even like you end up loving them more than you even did in the beginning. That was my goal for the relationship that I wanted, and so far that has been the end result. I didn't see the reason to be in a relationship with someone who you're just going to be in quarrel with. What is the point? Right? What is the point of that? If you're going to be with someone long term, it might as well be built with something that is actually beautiful. And that comes with structures. You can't wish this, you can't hope for it. It has to be created. Right? Everything good has to be created.